Have you ever noticed that very few men wake up one morning and decide to ruin their lives? Very few husbands decide to destroy their marriage. Very few fathers plan to lose their children's respect. And very few Christians choose to walk away from God. It almost never happens overnight. It happens one small compromise at a time. One prayer skipped, one conversation avoided, one habit ignored, and one secret justified. Then one day, you wake up somewhere you never intended to be. Most men don't fail suddenly. They drift. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Most men think failure arrives like a lightning strike. The Bible paints a very different picture. It usually arrives like erosion, slow, quiet, almost invisible. One morning without scripture, no big deal. One prayer you decide to skip, maybe tomorrow. One conversation you keep putting off. One compromise you quietly justify. None of these decisions feel catastrophic, but drift never announces itself. It only asks for one small compromise, repeated consistently. The frightening thing about drift is that you rarely notice it. Every step feels reasonable until you look back and realize just how far you've gone. Scripture says in Hebrews 2:1, "Therefore we must give the more earnest heed to the things we have heard, lest we drift away." Notice that word, drift? The writer doesn't warn about running away. He warns about drifting. Because drift happens naturally. Staying faithful never does. Think about a boat. If nobody is steering it, it doesn't stay where it is. The current decides. That's what drift does. It quietly carries you where you never meant to go. Your marriage doesn't drift toward intimacy. Your faith doesn't drift toward God. Left unattended, everything drifts, unless someone is intentionally steering. That's why faithfulness matters. Not because it's dramatic, because it's direction. Every day you're moving somewhere. The question is, who's holding the wheel? Here's what makes drift so dangerous. The man who is drifting usually thinks he's fine because he's comparing himself to where he used to be instead of where God is leading him. Drift doesn't feel dangerous. It feels normal. You tell yourself, "I'll get back to it tomorrow." Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Before long, you're living a life you never intended to build. The good news is that direction can change. One prayer, one apology, one honest conversation, or one act of obedience. Faithfulness grows the same way drift does. One small and intentional decision at a time. This week, don't look for the bigger problem in your life. Look for the smallest compromise. Ask yourself, what have I slowly stopped doing that I know I should still be doing? Then restart it today, not tomorrow. That's where the current changes. Next week, we're talking about something every husband will face: pressure. Because resilience isn't built when life is easy. It's forged when everything around you wants to quit. Every day, you're becoming someone. Not through one defining moment, but through the direction of your daily choices. So don't ignore the small decisions. Choose faithfulness today. Then choose it again tomorrow. Because the man your wife, your children, and your future need is built one faithful day at a time. If this message encouraged you, subscribe and share it with another man who needs to hear it. Forged in faith, bound by covenant. Let's get to work.